Hello, my name is Joshua, and I'm going to give you more tutorials on how to use GET requests with Postman. So in the last video, I showed you that when you use a GET request, the information that you want is usually defined by a key value. The params are usually in the URL itself. It's not usually always looking like this. It could be, I'll show you that there'll be different formats. And when you send a GET request, I forgot to mention that you want to check if the status code is correct. And right here, it's matching the dashboard's expected response, which is 200. It has the right response time, how long it took to get that response, and the size of that response. There are more headers here that gives more information about the response, like when did you receive it, and yeah, let's get going. Now I'm going to go over some more GET requests. It's more important to notice that you should be able to get successful requests when you request from certain categories. You should also get unsuccessful requests when you expect it. When the user gets it wrong when he searches it with it. So I'll go for that example as well. Now, for example, as mentioned, it could be a key value parameter as defined right here, page equals 2. But in this case, it's just really just like a pathway, an extension of the pathway. And right here, this get request is asking me to find a single user. In this case, the user I want has an ID of 2, as you can see from this response. And it has to have a 200 response right here. So if I were to practice with this one, I'm going to do rec-res. Go to Postman. I want to create a new request right here. Create a new add request. I'm gonna make sure it matches name. Get single user. You can add a description if you'd like. For the sake of time, I won't. Okay, now I add the host name, and now I'm going to say API/user/2. All right. So when I click send, I should get that JSON response body. Yes, and it has the correct information. The ID of 2. The first name and last name of the person. The status code is 200 as expected, and the time is 46 milliseconds, so on and so forth. Let's do another example. Let's get one from a single resource. API unknown 2. Again, it should have a successful response when I use this one. Now, save it here. All right, exit out of here, exit out of here. I think I'm going to exit out of this one to make it much more easier to read. Okay, and let's see. I'm going to add a request. This time I'm going to say get single resource, save to API requests. I'm going to double click on that get request. I should be able to define it here, rec-res.api/ I think it was unknown/2, and I should get the resource information for unknown/2. In this case, the status code is 200 is successful again, and I have the data for that respective category. Now, as I mentioned before, you should be able to test when it's successful and when it's not successful. Let me give you an example. Now, let's just say that the user is not found. It means you should get a 404 response, which means that that sort of information from that server is not available, or that location of that information is not available. Therefore, it's incorrect. So I should go ahead and create that GET request, and I should get that 404 response. If not, that means something's wrong with your software. You should talk to your developer or develop it better. So let's just say single user not found. All right. By the way, this documentation, or these are examples. You don't have to use those exact values. You could use, you could test it with other cases scenarios. It doesn't have to be 23. It could be like, let's just say you only have 10 users from 1 to 10. You could test here. Let me just give an example. It could be API/users/100. And if that 100th user does not exist, you should get a 404 response. Yep, 404 not found, 230 milliseconds. You still have that response time, but this time it shows that that response, you cannot collect that sort of response. So I'm going to save this one as a test case for my API requests. And there's another example right here that the single resource is not found. Something similar right here. 404 response. All right. Add request. This time get single resource not found. Save to requests. Now if I double click on this one, I'm going to enter the URL /API/unknown. Say 1000. In that one, you should also get a 404 response not found as expected. Now, as I mentioned before, one thing about GET requests, again, the information that you search for is usually appended to the GET request URL, and that's why sensitive information should not be there, because if you go to the history, you could see all that information there, and it's kind of violating, the user's. You should not be able to show the user's information in the GET request of the URL. That's something you should check for, and that's why you should usually use post requests. Anyways, I hope you found this helpful. Again, to summarize, this is about how to use GET request to check the status code, the response time, different ways on inputting the parameters to the GET request pathway, as well as what it looks like when it's not successful. In this case, I'm just showing you the 404 response. Hope you guys like this content, and if you have any questions, please comment below and tell me how to improve. Take care, guys.